Hello, everybody, and welcome to Car Confections. Today we have some pretty big and exciting news. The oh so popular and oh so awesome Kia Telluride is under the knife for a refresh in 2023, and there is quite a bit of new equipment, slightly revised exterior design, and I know you are going to want to know all about it. So let's go ahead and hop into those 2023 changes and see if that Telluride, the 2023 model, is the SUV you've been waiting on.
All right, but let's get started here with the exterior because that's probably the most obvious place where we see some updates. Now, I will go ahead and just say in general, Kia didn't reinvent the wheel because, of course, the Telluride
Right.
is an extremely popular SUV. It's still in such high demand, you can't hardly even get one. So, really, that in itself is impressive that they're going to go ahead and make these updates and make it even better, even though they don't need to. Market demand says they don't need to make these changes. That being said, check it out. I'm really liking what they've done with the exterior. They've just kind of revised things. What you're looking at right now is a new trim level. So we have an X line and an X Pro. Those are joining the Telluride lineup for the first time. That's what's on the screen right now. And basically, that's going to be the more rugged version. So just like with the previous, or not the previous, excuse me, the other Kias in the lineup, like the Sorento and the Sportage, when you get the X Pro, that's going to add some cosmetic off-road ruggedness. It is also going to add a little bit of extra capability. The ground clearance is going to be 10 millimeters higher, and you're going to have some all-terrain tires, a little bit higher tow rating as well. But mostly it's going to be about the looks, looking tough, looking bold. Actually, it kind of reminds me a little bit of that Kia Mojave that's on sale in other parts of the world, but we don't have it here in the US.
Now, one thing that I am noticing is that the headlights are slightly revised. I don't know if it's just for this trim level. It also looks like the tail lights are also slightly different, not in really the way that it's overall shaped, but in terms of the lighting components. We'll see if they keep around those amber daytime running lights on the top end model. Like we said, this is the lower end model, so this one does not have the amber daytime running lights, but that's not really a new thing for the Telluride. You had to get those higher end models to get that feature anyway. And it does look like you have clear tail light lenses in the back now.
And big news, especially if you weren't going to get a fully loaded Telluride, standard LED headlights across the board, no more halogens or anything like that. Now we're starting to see some of the driving shots, so let's go ahead and talk about the powertrain. Nothing huge to talk about. It is the same as it was previously. So that means you've got the 3.8 liter V6 engine, 291 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque, naturally aspirated, good, real smooth and refined motor, 8-speed automatic, standard front-wheel drive, optional all-wheel drive. You still have all-wheel drive lock. Like I mentioned, the X Pro is a little bit more off-road capable, and the tow rating remains at 5,000 pounds for most of the trim levels. But I mentioned earlier, you do have that additional 500 pounds, taking you to 5,500 if you go for that X Pro model.
And overall, just looking at the Telluride, you'll notice that the outside is just as gorgeous as it has been the past few years. And like Drew mentioned at the beginning of this video, it didn't need to change a lot. And I really am glad that Kia didn't change it because this is exactly the look that Americans are looking for. That's why you have such a long wait time on one of these Tellurides. And that's why a lot of them go for over MSRP. But there is quite a bit of big news on the interior, so let's go ahead and get into that part because you're going to be living on the inside of this Telluride, so you need to know what's up and what's new for the 2023 model, and check it out. So just looking at the overall package, it doesn't look incredibly different. Of course, the dash design is going to be about the same as it has been before. The door trims, all the armrest components, those are all the same. However, there is a big change. We're looking at it, right now. So you have the upgraded display here, and you're also going to get the digital gauge cluster design. So that is, of course, something we've complained about in all of our Telluride reviews, is that we never understood why the Telluride didn't have digital gauges when the Sorento has them, the Sportage has them now.
Carnival.
Yeah, the Carnival, it was about the only one that didn't have it besides for the Stinger. So, their best and more flagship SUV didn't have that feature, so I'm definitely glad to see that Kia added that in.
Right. Dual 12.3-inch displays. So just like with the Sportage, it makes one kind of seamless, curved functionality piece there. So it just kind of sets up there on the dash and kind of comes into one piece. I'm also noticing another new piece of technology, and that is the rear camera mirror. So you can just flip that switch and see behind you live camera feed without any of the obstructions with your cargo or your kids or anything else back there in the back that's getting on your nerves. Of course, with those gauges, just like with any of the other products in the lineup, you have all the different design themes and cool functions that you can do. You'll still have the blind view monitoring system, so when you turn to the left or the right, you have that camera feed as well. And overall, you're just going to have enhanced technology, basically, and just a little bit more of a modern look, of course, being going from the analog to the digital gauges, as well as the 10-inch display to the 12.3-inch display.
Right. And also, one thing I want to point out, this is a little bit unfortunate, is the fact that we are still going to keep wired Apple CarPlay, wired Android Auto. So we did anxiously look through the notes to see if they were going to add the wireless abilities. We love that feature. I know you guys love that feature. Unfortunately, it's not going to be around on this Telluride, so we will have to bear with Kia and Hyundai and Genesis for a few more years until they finally give us wireless abilities there.
We have wireless charging, though.
Yes.
That's still available. And I mentioned a couple more tech-related points that have been improved. New digital key system for the Telluride. Additionally, the head-up display has been increased from 8 inches to 10.5 inches. You can also have used your smart watch, to unlock the vehicle via an app if you have a Galaxy Watch or an Apple Watch.
And you're also going to get Highway Drive Assist 2.0. So that's the more advanced system that we've seen and sampled out in stuff like the Hyundai Ioniq 5 that will do auto lane changing. So that's definitely a really nice feature to have upgraded in addition to all of your other safety systems that the Telluride does offer.
Those will continue to be standard.
Yeah. Now, you're probably curious about the availability and, when this Telluride is going to be coming out to dealers and when can you possibly get one. Hopefully that will be coming up in the next few months, but Kia has not necessarily released any information regarding when the Telluride will be available at dealerships. I would assume it would be towards the latter part of 2022, but who knows, it could be a summer release for this Telluride.
If we find that out, we're going to add that to the description or pin a comment to the top. Additionally, pricing is the same deal. No official pricing yet. Typically, brands don't release the pricing until less than a month before it officially goes on sale at dealerships. So, we look forward to sampling this in real life and getting you guys the full information, including pricing and an in-depth car review as soon as we can. But for now, this is the 2023 Telluride.